And then what it comes down to is another topic, but why isn't our government protecting us from this? And it turns out, it seems like everybody's kind of in cahoots. And there's an interesting point I make of this, though, that, okay, so now Google just released their technology to be able to, their computer now is like unbelievable what it can do.
Gemini, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So now I think
yes.
that we know that it does take these big corporations in a lot of money to put this technology together, but at the expense of the inventors, at the expense of the artists, a lot of times. Another example is you've got Zuckerberg with Instagram. Of all the platforms, Instagram's so big, they only pay 10% of all the money paid to artists.
Wow.
How is he the third richest guy in the world? And he pays only 10% to the creators off the backs of the creators creating. So this is what we're changing, is we're going to take a percentage of our sales, of the money that comes in and the advertising and the sales, and we're feeding it straight back out to the artists. So we're supporting the artist community. For me, it's like feel like the luckiest guy in the world. Right now I'm in Thailand. I'm a digital nomad for a couple of years. So I'm just, it's made me sharper, all of this happening. And I'm realizing, like, right now I basically can roll with a backpack and, 2 backpacks and a suitcase anywhere in the world. And there's something really freeing about that.
Yeah. Well, it's cool too. Like I think during the 2020 era where like we're all freeing ourselves from the digital aspect of it. I got actually from a brief period, I had a digital minimalism kind of like era of like no technology, everything's away, and I was watching a lot of videos because of that. And what's funny is, I think with Apple, you're so sucked into a lot of the stuff, and especially like social media and apps, and you got to have this, you got to download this, you got to be honest as much as possible. And so I actually decided, because I was like, I switched to a Google phone. I actually have a Google Pixel 7, and it's like the Gemini is like phenomenal. Like you look at Apple's AI, which is, I was surprised they sold their Apple product with the promotion of, oh, here's Apple AI, but there was no Apple AI on it until like months and months later. And now it's kind of like, it doesn't compare how great Google AI, which is the Gemini. And it's like, it's really wild how like just creative they are, and just how like the tools that you can use. Like I use this Gemini for like everyday things, like just remind me for this, and, make a list and, script this for me. And I did this, I was trying an experiment the other day with, I have a dog who, she's a Shih Tzu poodle mix. And I just like, I'm trying to make a little TikTok for her. That's funny that you mentioned TikTok. I was going to make a TikTok account for her to kind of grow for her and just see what would happen. And I made a generative AI picture of her, like just make this super cute green eyes. And it was really, really good with the pictures. I was really shocked how good they made it.
It's amazing. It's beautiful, really.
Yeah. Do you think your app will inspire new artists?
That's literally part of our whole plan, is to not only inspire them, you too can create, but we're going to actually have the education part of it on our Discover AI section to teach them how to do it. Yeah. And then we're already partnering up with different contests, AI contests. There's a website called Curious Refuge, and they do a really great job too, as far as like educating people how to use AI tools and for storytelling. So
that's great. It's such a, I find it such a cool, because artists, like, I remember someone once said, like, artists are like the communicators of the world. Like they're the people that communicate the most, and they actually, they bring life to things, when you don't realize it. And it's such a powerful thing, especially that platform, which sounds amazing, of like just making things, and now you're providing an educational tool to actually help people do that, which I think people will appreciate.
Definitely.
Yeah. What do you think in the next 10 years? What do you think will happen with this platform in terms of, generative AI, but also like your platform of making artists who do this? What do you think will happen?
Okay. So what I see coming down the line is, of course, we're starting off with smaller videos, reels, stories, these sort of things. And then as the technology gets better and as the artists get better, it's going to be Clover specifically. We're setting it up also, so you'll have a feed that's vertical, but you can also have a feed that's horizontal. So you can view it, whether it's like you would say YouTube or Instagram. And so we see Floativerse as being a place for storytellers. and it'll be basically, um, I don't know, like you would say indie films, something like that. But what's different is with indie films in the past, they're based on their budgets, and you could probably tell as an indie film. But now there will not be a difference between Hollywood and indie films slash AI films. And that's what we're really excited about, is to help inspire storytellers so they're not just stuck to the narrative of as far as what's happening coming out of Hollywood. It's like everyday people get to create whatever it is that they're thinking.